So, I, like probably most people these days, wake up, pull out my phone. Also, like most people these days, launch Twitter. And with literally no warning at all, the almost pretty much really the entire plot of Dragon Ball Super Broly just right there in my face. Literally no like spoiler, no nothing. It's just like boom, this happens, this happens, this happens. There you go. That's the major plot points of the whole film. I'm like, oh, okay. So with that said, all right, guys. Name is Tyler, aka Nanogenix, and today, as you just sort of saw me demonstrate, as the title of this video says, everything else. This is my sort of discussion over the spoilers that we have now seen for the Dragon Ball Super Broly film. So this is sort of your last line of being able to get out before you see any other spoilers. However, I didn't think I was gonna, like, look at what I do, right? I literally put out content on the internet that is 99% revolving around Dragon Ball. Did I ever in 1,000 years think, such a weird way to say that, but did I ever think that I would make it all the way until January without knowing the plot of Dragon Ball Super Broly? No, there's no way. There was actually factually no way I was going to make it until January 16th for the launch of this movie here in the US without knowing the plot points of this film. So with that said, I do want to go ahead and give a huge shout out to Geekdom 101 as well as to Ken. Links to both their Twitter as well as their YouTube. Actually, I'll put a direct link to their videos. If you want to watch a full-on spoiler cast of this movie, that is where you want to go. I'm not going to be necessarily doing that. I'm going to hit the bigger plot points that we now know about the film, give you guys my thoughts on it. That's the whole point of this video, but I'm not going to literally go chronologically, hey, this is what happens, because either A, you've probably already seen it, B, you've probably already read it, or whatever, and then I'm not really offering much to you. So I'm going to actually give you guys my thoughts on everything that we have seen thus far. So let's go ahead right out of the gates. Let's talk about the big one, Gogeta. Gogeta is in fact real. Anyone doubting that can now just go ahead and put that to rest because he is here. Which I'm actually very, 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 very excited about. Apparently, there's also a failed fusion version of it as well, which is pretty dope. I mean, it's Vaku, so it's just like that's what it is. Anyway, the biggest thing here though, so right, we seen Data Mine from Xenoverse 2. We knew he was going to be DLC from there. They brought back Fusion Reborn, as well as the Bardock film and the Broly film into theaters. I wonder why. Obviously, because Gogeta was in this movie. But the biggest thing here, we knew there would probably be Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. That was actually what was leaked for Xenoverse 2. But the biggest thing I wanted to know, is Super Saiyan God a form that Gogeta will take in this film? And apparently it is. And that excites me probably more than almost anything, because I think Super Saiyan God is one of the most beautiful, underused forms in this entire series. And I was very happy to see the huge reveal at SDCC when we got their first trailer. They showed off the first sort of art boards of all the different characters and all the different forms you might see them in. And one of them was Vegeta in Super Saiyan God, which of course, the only time I'd ever seen him with that was in the manga. So it was very awesome to see them bringing that into the actual anime. And so then I was like, okay, if they're giving Vegeta SSG, Goku already obviously has SSG. Does that mean there's a even slight chance that Gogeta is going to get SSG? And it does, guys. We apparently see Gogeta at SSG, and I am just so incredibly excited about that. Now, before I talk more about Gogeta, the Broly fight, and all of that, because I do want to talk about that, I want to take a step back just to a couple of things here. So first off, very excited about apparently the first half of the film, give or take, is majority just the backstory. You like actually on planet Vegeta, Frieza coming in, all of that. I'm very excited about that. I mean, I feel like if you have ever watched Dragon Ball, which you probably have since you're watching this video with me right now, but if you've ever watched Dragon Ball, I feel like one of the main things that really kind of grabs your attention is this sort of this different race known as the Saiyans that have this sort of ability to continually get stronger and ascend to new levels of power and all this stuff. I think that's the main thing that I'm not saying everyone, right? Like obviously everyone has their favorite characters, their favorite this, their favorite that, but I feel like that the majority of the population that likes Dragon Ball, that's the thing that really sort of gets your attention. So the fact that now that we know there's a big portion of the film spent in this sort of origin story of Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, and seeing Planet Vegeta with King Vegeta there and everything else, and Frieza arriving, all of that, like that's awesome. So moving past that though, one of the things I'm super excited about that is sort of iffy because people aren't too sure on how the translations worked, was there was apparently a reference to cooler, because Frieza wants to collect the Dragon Balls to get taller, which actually I'm kind of okay with, because I feel like anytime Dragon Ball delivers comedy, especially in the films and stuff like that, they're usually pretty good on it, right? Like usually my first sort of screening of a new episode or whatever, and it has that sort of comedy built in, it usually gets a pretty decent chuckle out of me. So knowing that Frieza is trying to gather the Dragon Balls to get taller is awesome. And during that conversation, someone references his brother. Now, the sort of discrepancy here is, were they referencing him being cooler because he's taller? Were they actually referencing his brother cooler? I have to imagine Akira probably, now that he's literally brought Broly in. This is, by the way, in case you haven't seen all the other stuff, this is the truly first time that we're getting to meet Broly. They're pretending like the 3 other films basically didn't happen. We've never met Broly. This is truly Goku and Vegeta's sort of real first time interacting with Broly. So that is also worth noting there too. So since they're doing that, would it really surprise anyone at this point for Akira to bring in Bojack, especially Cooler? I mean, I feel like the most logical thing of the movies for him to do next would probably be Cooler, especially with so much focus on Frieza and how many people just love Cooler, because his design is so, I hate doing this, but it's just the best way to describe it. Cool. Like, Cooler's design is fantastic. His final form looks like his buffed up final form looks great, man. When his sort of visor comes up over his face, like GG baby, friggin' GG. So that is one of the bigger points. It's not even that big of a point, but I hope that is a true thing, because I very much so would love to get more insight into Cooler and to actually see some interactions between Frieza and Cooler. It'd be great. It'd be absolutely great. But back to Broly. So Broly apparently is as strong as Beerus, or very, very close to it. Again, this was a small discrepancy, but if you take an actual look at it here, this is after Dragon Ball Super. So this is a post-Tournament of Power Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. And apparently if they're not enough to take down Broly, it requires them to actually have to fuse, then it would maybe make sense that his power, if not as strong as Beerus, is very, very close to being as strong as Beerus. And why wouldn't you do that? If you're going to reinvent Broly, right, you're going to bring him back to the fandom, you're going to reinvent him, make him this monstrosity. I want him to be just ridiculously powerful, like unbelievably powerful, like almost to the point of triggering some people how powerful he is. Because if you're going to bring back this sort of icon, whether you love him or hate him, one of the most polarizing characters in all of the fandom, but if you're going to bring him back and reinvent him, then yes, do him like that. Do him to a point to where he is so strong. It's just like, really though? And if you're going to make him like that, and you're going to make him this strong, give us, and the fact that he is defeated but he's not killed, give us a fight between him and Jiren. Even if it's just for some playful reason, I don't care. But just somehow, because we know there's going to be more Dragon Ball movies, we know there's going to be more Dragon Ball series and all of that, we know that that's going to be a thing. Give us a Broly v Jiren fight, please. Geekdom even mentions this in his video as well. I want to see this so bad. That would be great, man. That would be absolutely fantastic. So anyway, basically Broly is more powerful than Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, and Vegeta. And so Frieza comes in, fights Broly, gets the actual crap beat out of him. Let's be real. We knew that was going to happen. If he's strong enough to take on combined Goku and Vegeta, then there's definitely no way that a Golden Frieza by himself would be enough. But apparently it's enough time for Piccolo to actually teach Vegeta how to do the fusion dance. And once he does that, they fuse and apparently fell, which is how we get Veku, which Veku being in it, like, honestly, I like that. Like, again, I think they handle the funny moments so well. So, like, honestly, I'm cool with that. And then they do it again. They get it right. And apparently we see a base form Gogeta, a Super Saiyan God Gogeta, and a Super Saiyan Blue. There is no UI. Honestly, though, I'm cool with that. I really didn't want to see UI again. I just want to be 1000 with you. I'll be honest, I didn't really want to see Blue again. I want to see SSG. A little bit biased, okay? I'm a little biased. Whatever. But I'm just being 1000. Honestly, give me all the SSG. But yes, apparently no UI Goku. They don't defuse, actually defeating Broly. Like that, I love that. Like, fusion is just this sort of just hype thing that really never does anything. I mean, yes, do they pummel the opponent Absolutely, but somehow they always manage to defuse it right before the final blow, and then they have to do something crazy after that. So like the fact that in this movie, Fusion actually wins is great. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's to the point of to where the space girl, the new space girl that we get introduced to from this film, has to actually come in and wishes to save Broly. Like, that is awesome to me. And so anyway, with all that said, the final sort of bit is the last thing I'm going to talk about here, which is where Goku confronts Broly and refers to himself for the first time as Kakarot. That is huge. So I just, like, well, yes, is this movie spoiled for me to you know, its entirety? 1000%. Because, right, there's even more to it that I know. I just, you know, there's not that, some of those plot points aren't that important to give my thoughts on, but like, even now, like, you would, like, there's a lot of sort of movies where you would go, oh, I know how that ends, I don't care anymore. No, now that I actually know the events, I know what all takes place in this movie, I want to see it even more. Because the other thing too is, like, Geekdom interested, I've already seen it a ton on Twitter too, the people that have witnessed this film say the animation is some of the best, if not the best they've ever seen, not in Dragon Ball, but just in general. Like, they have literally, like, taken it to another level with this movie. The music is incredible, and it goes with every scene, is just so well done that, like, hearing all of this, like, someone actually said, now this, Geekdom said this too, someone actually said this is one of the best movie-going experiences they have ever had. Like, dude, I am so ready to see this movie. It's not even funny. So that's why I wanted to make a video. I had to talk about it. I was like, I've got to get this out here. So I am beyond excited for this film. I'm so glad that Fusion actually does do something. The one final detail that I'm going to wrap up this video with that I was kind of sad to hear, though. I love Soul Punisher. I think it was one of the coolest moves in all of Dragon Ball. A little bit of a Gogeta fanboy, but and I like Vegito too. But I was kind of sad to hear apparently they don't use Soul Punisher. They have, I think they use a typical Kamehameha. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. That is kind of a bummer. But honestly, Fusion, amazing fights. Also, apparently the fight scene between Gogeta and Broly is like next level. Like, I'm just excited. All right, I'll end it like that. You don't want to hear me go on and on about how excited I am for this film, but I am incredibly excited. Anyways, guys, that is today's video. If you enjoyed it, if you're new here, all those things, consider going down there, hitting that subscribe button, joining the hashtag NanoFam today, because there's a like button as well. Guys, the second that we have more Broly stuff, I will probably talk about it, because that's how excited I am. But I mean, as of right now, pretty much know the whole movie, so that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Guys, have a great day. Keep on keeping on Nanogenix and off, and I'll see you all in the next video. In the next video. Bye, guys.